If you're looking to sell or buy cheap CSGO skins, check out bitskins.com. Hello, welcome to Titan Games. I am back. I'm going to be doing another strategy. I'm going to do this one in the same format as I did the last one. So in our team at the moment, we're going over new maps, and one of them is Overpass. And I'm trying to learn a lot of new things that I didn't, have drilled in my head, and coming up with new things, new strategies that we can actually do and execute. So I just want to show you this one that we created. It's called the Bank Robbery. Funny name, and there's actually quite a funny story behind it as well. Sort of depressing as well, for me anyway. But I'll show you how it works. So basically you're going to have a 4-1 split going through long. You're going to have 4 members just grouped towards long, waiting for the flash. There's going to be this smoke thrown. I'll show you how to throw all these smokes after in a sec, just so you get a gist of like how it's going to look. So you're going to have that smoke's going to be thrown there. There's going to be a flash in this direction, like so. That's going to blind anyone that's going to be aggressive up close, trying to get aggressive in this position. You commonly have an AWPer who's posted on this position. All you have to be aware of is them jump spotting, because they can see you and they'll get information on exactly how many people are at long, and that could easily cause for like an early rotate from B. So if you are the AWPer who's coming around here once the flash goes off, if they're not like on the left hand side, the riflers should cover the left hand side, and the AWPer just be careful of anyone just going to be jump spotting above the flower bed. Once that's done, this player is going to come running all the way back round through the playground, and he'll be coming back round to rejoin with his team. So there's going to be a 5-man stack towards long at this point. All of the riflers are going to be clearing toilets. The AWP, who is back here at this angle, just does a little flash like that into the corner. You can face with that because it lands here. So the riflers come in, they check the angles, blah blah blah, and they just hold, wait for any pushes. If there's nothing, like no one's going aggressive in the toilets, in this segment of the toilets, they don't need to like clear out further down here. They just leave it because they don't need that for the strategy. We're going to leave everything else. Once that's done, the next phase in the strategy will be commencing, and that'll be the deep smoke in the back of long. Now I said I wouldn't show you how to throw these, but that one's probably just easier to throw it from there. But I'll show you exactly how to do it in a sec, like after I've shown you the basic setup. So then this smoke will go down, and this smoke obviously limits the view that people can get into long. They can't see exactly how you're setting up, how many players are there, are they still there, have they gone round to the toilets in toilet side. They have to sort of guess what's going on. And once that smoke is going off, you have the riflers come clear close. They double peek this angle wide. Once that's clear, they set up with all their smokes. So I'm going to show you what the smokes just look like. And there's a smoke Molotov and a flash that you need to have done. So basically, smoke here, and a smoke roughly there. Now obviously these smokes aren't going to be perfect because I've just thrown them like that, but that's how it should look like. There's going to be a Molotov here, and a flashbang over the top that will land up here. So if I just, well, that one's gone. Basically, you can get the idea. So basically we're creating a wall of smoke that will lead us straight into the bank. Flashbang goes up high, entry fraggers come in, they check close left, common position for people to play, and they just entry into the bank. Two players. Once you've got bank control, you can go one aggressive here, holding this angle, and then you can have the secondary guy, like the secondary entry fragger, or like the guy that's usually getting the trade kill. He can come to this angle, and obviously you can see anyone who's like rotating up here to the CT stairs, which is another common position people like to hold on the CT side. But basically, if you can catch any rotators, just get there, like obviously try to get the kill, but like bait them into your teammate who's at this position. If they see you here, they're not going to expect probably another guy who's aggressive waiting for them around the corner, and you can help each other out if they actually do look at him there. You can just come back around and get the trade. That's how that's going to work. So 2 first players going into the bank, then you have the third player who is with the bomb. He plants in this position. You have the 4th player who's a rifler. He comes through here and literally just watches the smoke for anyone trying to push, anyone trying to spam. Now you see that I did the Molotov just behind these, just behind the smokes. So there's a wall of smoke here. Now the Molotov is thrown just solely so that you can prevent them from actually getting close and trying to hear exactly where the bomb's planted, and they have to sort of spam from a distance. They can't just come close and just push through the smoke, jump or anything crazy. But this player who's covering the bomb planter is literally just, his job is to make sure no one can kill the plant and actually get the trade. If someone's spamming through the smoke, you can quite easily just work out where they are and get the kill on them. Last player, who has the AWP? Where's my gun gone? There it is. Last player has the AWP and he is coming, obviously, he's the last guy. Has the AWP and he doesn't really have to do much here, doesn't have to commit too much. Obviously he can be wary of like a push from behind. He's sort of going to be the last man with the AWP, and there's a set Molotov that both, well, anyone can do it, but like it's probably going to be this guy with the AWP because he's last out, and it's probably going to be the guy who's covering the planter. And if I survive, I'm not one planting the bomb normally. If the planter survives, he can throw the Molotov as well. So well, actually he throws the Molotov, so he can't do it. So there's two Molotovs that you can do, and it's a set from here, set one from here. So it's super safe, and that will stop anyone from defusing for a good long time. So first of all, the bomb's planted for bank anyway, and you've got two players in bank. You've got players at long that can throw the Molotov over to prevent the defuse, and that's pretty much it. I'm going to show you how these smokes are thrown in a sec, but I just want to give you the story behind the strategy. So obviously, I was thinking to myself, how can we make a new way of like attacking the A site? Because we tried to do executes on the A site before. You know, the standard one where you do a smoke for truck, you do a smoke in the middle of site, you do a smoke like over here, or for bank. You can change it up how you want, but basically these are the standard smokes that you do, and then you do like a Molotov behind here. But this requires so much control of toilets, and a lot of time on Overpass is super hard to get control of toilets without taking any casualties, because there's people that can play so close up here, and most of the smokes are usually thrown from this position, here and here. I just feel like this strategy at long, it's just so easy to like get control of long and just push the CT side back and back without losing any members. So I was thinking that in my head when I came up with the strat. I was like, why can't we just do it this way? And then obviously, you know, trying to learn more stuff about Overpass, I was watching demos. I made a tweet. I think I asked you guys like what team is worth watching on Overpass, and I got a number of suggestions, but I just downloaded like the most recent ones, and I watched the NIP versus Virtus Pro game on Overpass. It was in overtime, and I couldn't believe what I just saw. I literally just saw the same strategy, literally the bank robbery. They had the same smokes, but theirs were a bit different. I can show you an image. I can just put an image on the screen now so you can get a better idea of it. But they had smokes that were closer to the site. You couldn't really get a good, like they weren't deep enough basically to allow room for the planter. There was no Molotov. They did do the flashbang that was over the roof, but it was a 4-1 split. Like they had Bayali trying to fake stuff over on the B site, so it wasn't the same 5-man thing towards A, but they were in overtime. They were trying to fake something towards B because they've been going B a lot in that game, and I think they saved this pocket strat for like the end of the game. They didn't actually work out, because what actually happened was Pasha was the first one in. He was the entry, like he normally is. Like he gets flashed in, he goes straight in, and he doesn't even go bank. Like he goes through the smoke. He was low HP. He ran through the smoke. He gets killed instantly by Get Right, and they got the plant, but Get Right was literally just standing the other side of the smokes, and because the smokes were so close, he was just like spamming everyone. I think he got 1 kill through the smoke on Neo, who had to plant the bomb. So yeah, it just wasn't very good. There was no Molotov. And obviously it's easy for me to say that, but when I was watching it, I was like, oh my god, they're doing our strategy. And I was like, holy shit, no one's going to believe me that I came up with something like this. It's probably been done before, but I've never seen it. That was the first time I've ever seen something like that in a pro game. So yeah, I was super surprised by that, and I was like, I thought I was all unique coming up with a little strategy, but apparently not. So there you go. We can just call it the Virtus Pro strat instead of the bank robbery. But yeah, I'll show you now how to do the actual smokes that you need to do, and then I'll show everything together. So the first smoke you're going to need to do is in this corner at the bench near playground. You want to aim up into here. There's a little dot on this side of the, I think it's this one, this dot on this side of the wall. Just simply go down and go to the right of this stone, and then simply jump through, and that'll land next to the flower bed. Obviously most of these smokes, well, all of them are done on 128 tick, so if you are trying to do this strategy in matchmaking on 64 tick, that smoke's going to not land properly, so you have to come up with your own for that. So that's that smoke. That's the first smoke in the sequence. Your entry fragger needs to be doing that, so he doesn't have to do any smokes as he comes onto the site. This flashbang, really simple one, just throw it high like this, and that'll blind anyone aggressive here. Next smoke that you need to know is the one for the end of long. Come into this lamppost, look at the top of the T, jump through, and that'll land at the end of long, right in the centre. And there are no gaps in that one. And once that one is once that one's been deployed, you need to do the rest of the smokes. There's 3 other smokes that you need to do. There's one back here, and it's simply just on this corner of this strip. And then you look at this line. You can see the line that's in the toilet. Then you just follow it down just slightly. I use the top of my crosshair as a reference, but you can just use whatever works for you. And that's the jump throw as well. That one's going to land close onto the site, like so. A really cool thing about that one, by the way, if you jump here, you can get a like aggressive angle. They might not expect it, but you don't have to. It's always risky. So that's that one. There's this one for the site. So you go into the corner of this. You look at this where these 2 lines meet. Go to the left, there's a little dot, and then just go 1 step further to the left as well. And that's really important that you go all the way to the left on this one, because otherwise there's going to be a gap in the smoke here, and people can just walk into that and literally just see you plant the bomb. So that's that one. And the final smoke that you need to do is this one. So you see this dark brick here. You see that dark brick, and you go to this one, and he's just below that one. And again, I'm using my crosshair to line that up, and that'll land in the centre of here. And this one looks similar to the smoke that people do for like standard executes, so it sort of limits the view here, which is good. So it forces them to come here, maybe check this angle, maybe try and play around the smoke thinking we're going to come from here, but we're not. So that's that one. So that's all the smokes that you need to know. Now this guy that does the smoke that I just showed you, he does a Molotov as well, but the Molotov you have to come back a little bit, and you want the Molotov to land as close to the smoke as possible without landing in the smoke, because obviously it will just dissipate if you do that. So it's between this little pillar thing and that, I think that's a tree in the background, between these two basically. If you do it low, it will land, but if you do it high, it might go too fast. So it's sort of, you have to work it out, like exactly how to do it. So that one was perfect. The smokes land here and here. That's just behind it, and that prevents anyone from being close. And it's really important, a really important Molotov to do that one. So he does that. He throws the smoke, throws the Molotov, and then he would be throwing the flashbang. So this is the flashbang that's going to blind the people that are on the site. You normally come here and you look at the top right of the building, but you just need to come back slightly, just so it's a pop flash, and it's just on point, and that will blind anyone who's in this close position, which is always hard to deal with when you're coming out. So your entry fragger doesn't have to worry about him like getting a kill on him just for free. That's going to bind him. It's going to blind anyone behind the site. If they're like this, it's not going to blind them. It's not going to go far enough. So you just have to be aware that if someone's playing this close angle, very tight, then he's not going to be blind. That's pretty much it for that splash. So he just comes in, clears the angle, goes straight towards bank, and it's supposed to be a fast thing. So like once this smoke is faded, it has to be timed correctly. The smokes have to be thrown at the correct time. The flash has to go off just as this is fading, and you're going straight on it. And the entry fragger, like for any strategy, you have to have no fear. Just come out, check the angles. Don't worry about anything here. Obviously, if someone's pushed through the smoke, then kill them. But like, just go straight to bank, and that's your main goal. Rob the bank. Bank robbery, boys. That's what's going on. So, yeah, literally just a line from all the way into the bank. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't think I need to explain anything further than that. I would love to hear some feedback on this strategy. We've tried it a number of times in scrims, but the thing is, I couldn't get any GoTV recordings of it, because when we do our scrims, I don't record the GoTV, and we've not done it in an actual official yet, because the veto always comes down to either Cash or us too. So yeah, let me know what you think. Give me your thoughts in the comments. Yeah, thanks for watching. Hopefully this helped. Have a good day.